Now, the rest of the story.
Welcome back to the rest of the story. Let me try to do that a little bit better. Welcome back to the rest of the story. Well, I don't have I do have a camera and a microphone. I just don't have the setup with the cord on it, so I'll just talk loud enough you can hear me. And what I'm currently doing is everything to do with cattle. It's winter. So what do you do in the winter? You take care of cows. And I don't know if I posted the video yet. I really should have. But we came down yesterday and fed the cattle down at my place, which is great. Thing is, we had a snowstorm last night, which isn't so great. And the cows all came home and attacked the couple of bales that we put in. Turn my air back on. I say, believe it or not, I'm actually steaming here. So we've had all the cows out in the field at my place for a little over a month and a half. It might be 2 months actually. If I actually had to go back and look at it, it's probably been close to 2 months. And which is great because A, it's feed, it's readily available feed. B, it saves me feed because I don't have to feed them. Was I going numerical or alphabetical? Okay, so C. Oh man, I started that list out thinking there was going to be a whole list of things. Yeah, A, don't have to feed them because all the feed in the field is there. They can clean it up. 2, they can chew on all the feed that we have out in the field. Saves us feed. 7, they can clean up any of the corn, the beans that we manage to leave out in the field. In yield, that's not a lot, if any, but it happens. So that's great. The biggest downside to that, probably one and a half reasons. The biggest reason why I don't like having cows out in the field is largely due to the fact of compaction. My buddy Ryan, which I only have, I guess, 2 buddies or 2 friends that I would say that are my friends, that aren't family. And like he said, the 1,200 or 1,800 or 2,000 pound animal that you have loose out in your field is one of the worst things you could do for compaction because you have all that weight on their hooves pushing into the ground. And it's not the end of the world if it's dry ground, if it's not mud, but if you have a bunch of rain like we just had, let's just go ahead and say it. This fall was actually a pretty dry fall, especially compared to the last couple of years. The thing is, when it rains and you have the cows running out to the field, there's your compaction, and you gotta take the good with the bad, I guess, because we probably wouldn't be sitting too healthy on feed if I had to start feeding these guys 2 months ago, because when I let them into the fields, the pastures were done. They were chewed up and they were dormant. The cows had them all cleaned up for us, and that was that. So what I'm currently doing, which is probably getting a few of you a little confused as to why I'm just randomly driving through the field here. I'm going through the fields and I'm looking for cows. The reason being is because now that we got this snow, it encouraged all the cattle to come home, because I did I did want to actually run them through the chute down at my place, but I do want to at least get them in out of the field, which is what we're currently, pretty sure we actually are there. I just want to make sure I don't lock anything out into the field. So, I'm not seeing any tracks other than the one track up there. And you know what? I think I'm gonna head up this waterway, and I don't think I'm gonna worry about going out into the pasture. Because at this point, I mean, for the amount of snow we got and for how little of feed that is out there, are you kidding? Grr. I might have to go back out in the other field though, because I'm pretty sure I see a cow out there. I want to go through and at least just get everything out of the field. We got to get calves in, cows in, wean off calves, vaccinate, cut the steers, vaccinate the calves, calf foot vaccinate anything that we want to keep for our own breeding stock. The big problem I got right now is we got cows dropping calves. We got about 10 babies. I have about a dozen baby calves down at my place. Not feeder calves. I got a dozen babies. I have one with a fresh umbilical. So he was like within the last 24 hours, the way he's looking. Doing great. He's up dancing circles around his mom in the snow, but generally we calve about 6 months ago. So, A, why did the cows not get bred back when they were supposed to? And B, what was the bull doing? So, hold on a second. We gotta shut this gate. Granted, it's not the end of the world that we got a bunch of calves right now. As a matter of fact, the fact that we have about a dozen, granted 2 of those are mine, calves to deal with, just changes up the management a little bit, because ideally the calves that calved early, or the calves that we got earlier this summer, I'm still in the process of getting them weaned off and getting them on grain, so we can vaccinate them and cut the bulls and everything. So now that we got a bunch of baby calves to deal with, I guess we got a fall group of calves to send out, so we'll be graining calves pretty well all summer as far as that goes. It's really no big deal, but generally I think every farmer viewer I have understands that you want all your cows to calve within 45 to 60 days generally. So my biggest problem is I need a place to put the bull, which I don't right now. Yeah, really that. I've been dealing with fencing and everything else. I got at my brother's place. We got his place that we're building back up. It's built up, fixed up. We can sort cattle out there again. The plan is to come out to my place, and we're going to go through and get my place set up for sorting and working cattle, so that way we don't have to worry about having a place, having to go take everything out to Ryan's place just to work the cattle, which unfortunately is probably going to happen this year, which is probably going to be stressfully less stressful. Stressful to the point where I got to haul everything out there to, got to get everything in down here, load them up, take them out there, feed them, sort them out, get the cows past their, get the calves weaned off so the cows aren't gonna be looking for them. I want to run all the cows through the chute, which it's kind of going backwards on me as to the original reason to why I wanted to have the cows run through the chute was to check them, was to price check them. So I knew what was bred, what wasn't, what I can call out. Having a dozen or so cows that just calve kind of throws a wrench in that, because I don't really, is it really the cow's fault? When you got 12 cows that are all calving within about 2 weeks of each other, is it the cow's fault or is it the bull's fault? Or is it the farmer's fault for not keeping them separate? Quite honestly, there shouldn't have been any issue with leaving the bull out with the cows, because they were ready to be bred back this spring. Or, you know, whatever. Don't need to worry about it now, or how it happened. I gotta worry about what I'm gonna deal with it. And let me shut this gate. We gotta go out in that field yet, and there's fresh tracks out there, right there. So I'd like to get all the cows out of the pasture. Chures. I think I do, but the fresh tracks there are telling me that I don't. Well, good news is, well, good news, bad news, I found some cows. They're all mine, which cattle are very cliquey. And I dumped these of mine in sometime around August. And I basically have all of my dad's cows back at the buildings, and I got 6 cows and 5 calves that decided to stay out in the back part of the field, right along the tree line of the pasture. I imagine they did that with the way the wind was blowing. Probably did them a lot of good. Wind protection, you know. So I really didn't think I was going to be able to chase them in like I am. I mean, they're actually running circles around me for a little bit, but once you get them going in the right direction, they are at least being a little cooperative, and I don't want to jinx myself. So we got to get them. Well, I'm going to slam the gate behind me, make sure they're all in, and I'll probably come out another day or two and just do one last lap around the field. The big reason I was able to know, or I knew that these guys were out here yet, is because I could see the tracks in the snow. I mean, fresh snow, it's really hard to hide your tracks like that, which was good. They're really not calling for much snow going forward here. Like the storm that we got, the winter storm, a lot of the snow's already melted. I mean, yeah, it's still white out, but we don't have enough snow where it's really going to hurt us. I mean, a little bit of a drifting that we got, but otherwise we can still get away with hauling cattle out. From my place, we got to load them up and take them out to my brother's place, just because of the setup we put in out there. I mean, it's going to be so much easier to sort cattle out. I mean, we've needed that setup for years, like 2, 3, 4 decades. What we had before, it was more of, it works, let's just use it. We are going to be dumping more cattle into our pastures going forward here. Definitely looking at more of not even just putting cattle in the pastures, holding our feeder calves maybe longer. I mean, not necessarily me, but Ryan has definitely been talking about how he'd like to do his cattle management a little more intense. I don't know what the best way to say it is. He's thinking about maybe finishing a few of his calves out, maybe not all of them. Myself, I'd keep the cows and calve out my own feeder calves, and ideally time it where I could sell them about the first of the year. The feeder calves I got this year, I don't like them. The long and the short of it, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I don't like my feeder calves. I don't like how they look. They're uneven. Some of them are stunted, it seems like. But that is what you get when you buy bred cows from a sale barn. They're mismatched groups, and see, I jinxed myself because now they don't want to go towards the gate that way. So this is where having the gator would have really helped. So, come on, guys. To your right, to your right, to your right. There we go. And we're going to do a big circle. See, they're back there, I promise. And they're not going to work. So we're going to do another circle. I mean, there's two gates that are open. There's 25-foot gap there. All you got to do is go towards it. There you go. The last thing I need is for them to go back that way. But I'd like to get them out of here. No? Okay. I thought I saw some tracks down there because, you know, they walk in a... You get enough of them like this walking in the field through the snow, you can generally see their tracks. They're just determined they're going this way. See, now if I had the four-wheeler or the gator out here, I'd be done already. So, a bunch of black cows, a bunch of red cows, and I got my little tan heifer there. Believe it or not, I mean, I know I've said time and time again I want to have the red cows. I'm probably going to call out the black cows as I get going, but they produce calves, and that's really what I'm looking for. And I got that little tan heifer, and honestly, she may be the one I end up keeping. Just the way she's looked, the way she's grown. I'm not going to be able to do this with the tractor. I don't have access to a four-wheeler. This is when you just... Where do you think you're going? See, the thing is, the nice thing about using a tractor is that they can't get into guerrilla warfare and try pushing me around. Or at least they're started in the right direction. I mean, they can't tell me that they don't know where the fence is, where the gate is, because that's been open for 60 days. There we go. At least they're still walking towards the gate. Now I just gotta get the rest of the crew going. Come on. I don't know why I'm yelling. It's not like they can hear me, but I got a horn. There we go. Much better. That's half of them. There we go. Come on. Why I say, come on, just hold the horn in and let's go. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, granted, I prefer crops. I mean, actually, corn, beans, and even raising hay to sell. But that whole, the D word, diversification. Trying to diversify and have multiple sources of income, and there was a little bit of room for me to have the cows. Not a huge amount of room, but really 20, 30, 40 head of cows, whatever I end up with. Sell the feeder calves or keep some heifers, cull out some cows, and that is going to be more of the maintaining part of it. You see, they're kind of going towards the gate, and the cattle are going to be for equipment. Yeah, the row crops, crop ground. That'll be for equipment or for whatever else too as I need it. But if you guys have been around long enough, you know that we need equipment. We need update some equipment. We need to buy some new stuff. Between a bigger grain cart, a tractor, another disc bind. I mean, a 956. I've been looking around at them. You know, it's wider than our 735. I want to have two disc binds, 2 rakes. I mean, I like the Rhino rake, but another rake to complement it. A new baler, maybe keep ours and just get another one to run to. I don't know. I was on auction time this morning and I have to stay off that. I did bid on a chisel plow. Luckily I didn't get it. Which, no, not luckily. I mean, I really wish I would have gotten it, but it went for over $10,000, and that's more than I'm willing to spend on a chisel plow right now. Honestly, before I end this video, because the cows are trying to prove that they're smarter than me. Joke's on them. I did exactly what I wanted to do. The cows are actually headed for the backfield, but I actually just came from that direction. All the gates are shut. These gates will be shut, and our cows should technically be in. And then get them in. Well, actually, they're good here. But I'll be getting them in here before too terrible long. We'll be loading them out and run them through the chute at my brother's place. Just load them back up and bring the cows back down here. Take the my feeder calves to the home farm, take my cows probably to the home farm, bring Dad's cows back down here, and Dad's feeder calves will be out at my brother's place. And then we got to do my brother's cattle too. That's what winter's for, right? Working with cattle. So, in closing, when it comes to equipment purchases, I'm trying to stay away from it. I mean, what we have now will hold us over for another year. I mean, I almost bought that chisel plow. I'm glad I didn't win it. I bid enough on it. Don't want to say how much I bid on it. Well, I think I was one of the last bidders on it. Let's just say that. It's hard to do, but I paid off. It's not. Well, yeah. We're not going to argue that. But I paid off my credit card, and I paid off the 76 repairs. Those were the two big things that were sitting over my head, or kind of standing on my shoulders, because I had to address those before I could really move too much farther forward as far as going into next year. The credit card, I had that paid off a year ago, and I put all the sprayer, the rake, I purchased those two pieces of equipment with my credit card. Don't do that. I'll probably end up doing something like that again. I hope not, but it happens. All the repairs, the updates to the sprayer, the repairs for the rake, net wrap for running the valley, repairs for the round baler. I mean, that gearbox, that was $2,200. That went on my credit card. I didn't have much for cash flow coming in. Unfortunately, it's just how it went. I paid all that off. Now the hardest thing, which I keep telling myself I need to do, is just operate for a year. I mean, put that money away, not put it into a savings. That's a huge waste of money to me. But put it into different parts of the operation, different areas that'll actually bring money back, so that money is earning me money, making me money. And maybe by the end of the year, if I don't have the credit card, I don't have the 76 repairs, which they're done, actually not carry a balance on my credit card. I'd like to just get rid of it, but you can't. I mean, it's a valuable asset to have. It's a tool that you really just, you can't get rid of. But I'm trying to set myself up that by the end of the 2021 growing season, could I'd be sitting very well. I'm already sitting pretty healthy right now. I'm not stressed about money. Believe it or not, I've gone through those years, learning from them. But the hard part is not spinning around and buying something that that really would help the operation. A disc bind, a hay wagon. I mean, I may actually splurge on a hay wagon, just because another one to help haul hay would be nice. Other than that, I really just want to sit on my hands when it comes to spending too much this year and actually see how things turn out this fall. I really would. That's the goal. So I need to shut the gates because the cows walk to the closed gates up there. I got these closed, and I gotta go pick up my daughter, which she's spending time with her grandparents today, and I think everybody's happy. I know Relina's having fun. My mom snatched her up before I've even set her down, so Relina's happy. My parents are happy. So with that, you guys are watching the rest of the story. Thanks for riding along. I really appreciate it. A way to support the channel is simply to hit the like button. That's all I'm really asking for. Until next time, I'll see you then.